circling. It's coming. It's coming in a second. Hey! Oh, hey!
Hey!
How you feeling? How you looking? Talk to me.
Talk about it Tuesday. Doing
Thank you.
good,
I had
doing
no idea what today was. I actually was just going to say hello. I don't know what day it is. All the days are meshing like this. Like
good.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. This is me. Every day. That's all I can say. It seems like I haven't seen you or talked to you in forever. How many more days do we have till the event?
Countdown has started. I believe it's 3 days, 2 days.
Oh
Girl.
my goodness. So if you're watching us on Facebook, share it out. If you're watching us on LinkedIn, share it out because we have an amazing guest. He has like a badillion followers on LinkedIn. Angeline, I was so excited. I don't tell anyone. I don't go on LinkedIn that often, but I know how popular this man is, and I'm like, I'm gonna go on LinkedIn. So I actually went on LinkedIn and added him. Maybe he'll forward it, and then we'll get like some LinkedIn people. But anyway, if you're watching on the beautiful LinkedIn, welcome, 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 and YouTube, welcome. We are here today to talk about an event that we're putting together, Angelina, myself, and a bunch of other amazing humans. A few months ago, this person, along with Ramon Ray, they came up with a concept to do an event, an in-person event. If you've heard us talk about this a while, Breakfast with Champions is a morning show that comes on a few different platforms, but the main platform is Clubhouse. That's where we met, and it's for motivation, education, and inspiration. It comes on at 5 o'clock in the morning till about 1 in the afternoon, Monday through Saturday. Amazing show. And we went to an event in person. Long story short, it was so amazing for us. We thought, why not let other people share this? So we asked one of the hosts, presenters, founders of the event, hey, you want to join in on us? So he's here today. Angeline, you want to share and talk about the VIP before we get him up here and some of the details like the date and the time, because I didn't even put that in there. Date and time. And
You guys need to register at transformyourbusiness2023.com. It's happening this Friday, May 19th. We're kicking it off with the amazing, that is the guy we're interviewing right now. And then I lost my train of thought. May 20th, Saturday, May 20th, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. If you get VIP, you're going to get the exclusive access to talk to these incredible speakers. I'm so stoked. I cannot wait. I'm just excited. I think I'm getting more nervous than anything. Like,
okay, I'm going to scream at you, Angeline. I'm going to scream at you because I didn't look in the mirror. I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot I've got like this crazy too.
You're always gorgeous, Tina. So
before we had this guy come. Okay, so I wanted to play some theme music because some people are just a little gangsta underneath, and this one shocked me with his gangsta. I was like, so at this event, there was a bunch of ladies. Ladies like to talk, right? Ladies like to talk. And let's just say each guy, I think I'm talking too much, Angeline. But anyway, this person who's coming through, before he did his keynote, we were all like, at least me anyway. I'm sure they were thinking it. Oh, he's a good boy. Oh, he's a, you know how the nice boys are, But hopefully you can hear this. Do you hear this at all? You hear it, right? So this man who's coming through, you're going to lose your energy, lose your mind. I hope you can hear it. I love Eminem. I could have picked another song that started sooner. We fast forward. Here he is! Make some noise!
Oh my goodness.
In the house.
That's what I call mic drop. Hold up. That's what I call mic drop.
Oh, really, Angeline? You guys are showing off like that? Okay, what am I going to do for a mic drop?
Wow.
An eraser? Mic drop.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
So, Trevor, thank you so much for rolling through. I'm so grateful. So grateful to have you here. When I met you in Vegas, you were so cool, just regular. And as I told you before I went to Vegas, what am I talking about? Grant Cardone had an event in Vegas called 10X Your Business. I think that was it.
10X Growth Con.
Thank you, 10X Growth Con. And it's amazing how you say things out of your mouth and then they come. Glenn Lundy, who is our amazing mentor who founded Breakfast with Champions, when he was competing to be the America's Greatest Speaker. As I'm watching it on my phone, I said to myself, if Glenn wins, I'm going to this event to support him. I had no idea how I was going. The tickets were not cheap, let me tell you.
No, they were not.
They were
They were
not
not cheap.
There were levels. There were levels to the phases, like 10,000. And anyway, I said I was going, and I went. And when I was there, I met this amazing human right here, and we were talking. And I was not going to go to the Dallas events that Breakfast with Champions was having because I was like, I can listen to these people on my phone. I don't need to see them in person. But then Trevor started talking about his podcast. I'm knocking on some wood because one of these days it's going to happen. I really want a podcast now, but I have too many things in the mix. And he was sharing with me about his podcast, how it works. He was talking about a studio audience. I'm like, what is he talking about? And I wanted to see it. I wanted to feel it. I wanted to embrace it. So we went to Dallas and saw his podcast, but it's more than just a podcast. It's more than just a TV show because he has more behind that. So Trevor, I'd like you in a nutshell to share a little bit, whatever you want. And then you were talking about money and all that stuff and finances. So tell us what you want to share right now.
Well, first off, I want to say what an intro that was. I don't know if I've ever had an intro like that before. So that was fun. And secondly, you do have a podcast, okay? See, what you're doing right now, this is an interview. This is live stream. This is where I started. Let's see, about 6 years ago was live stream on Facebook, okay? And you're interviewing people. This is a podcast. You just need to repurpose it, grab the audio, clean it up, and throw it on a podcast. Throw it on Apple and Spotify and all the others. But yes, you do have a podcast.
Okay, I like that. I guess you can get like a VA or something to help out with that part, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's a tool out there that's actually it's very simple to use. It's called Descript. I don't know if you've heard of that tool, but you can literally take from this video, you can put the video in there, and it translates it into a text. And then from there, if you want to remove something or edit something, you literally just edit the text. So just like a Word document, if you wanted to delete something, you would just delete the words. It cuts it, and then there's a button in there you click for studio sound. So it optimizes the actual sound for the podcast. Anyway, very, very simple tool, very easy to use. You don't need a whole team to do that. You could do that yourself.
You just
So
changed
Trevor,
my life
I don't
because
know.
I was gonna do a podcast and I was like, I'm a tech girl. I love all things technology and new and systems, and I tried and I was like, this is such a headache. I'm not doing it.
Well, this is what I heard you, Angeline. I don't know if this is true, but this is what I heard. Because what Trevor said, he's like, it's that simple. It's that simple. And you know what I heard?
Yeah. I'm trying to tell you, let me tell you, Tina, it really is. So I made a lot of mistakes. This maybe be something we'll talk about. Okay. So I made a lot of mistakes in podcasting. I've been doing it for 6 years. Again, I started out live streaming like this. Okay. And I ended up having a lot of really great interviews, and I did it for years. And I let those interviews die on the shelf. Okay. So like after this is over today, and we have this conversation, if you don't do anything with it, it's going to die on the shelf. You let a live audience see it, hear it, feel it, touch it, and then you let it die. Okay. You got to take this thing and you got to make sure that it's evergreen and you can go put it on your podcast, and it's something that you can always go back to anytime. Okay. And so I did that. I made a mistake of having hundreds of episodes die on the shelf. Big names, Grant Cardone, die on the shelf. Right. And then I was like, okay, I got to get serious about this. And so that's what I did. And Descript it's actually a very, very easy tool. Check it out, please.
How do you spell it?
Descript is DESCRIPT.
I pulled it up. I googled it and I have it and I'm ready.
Now you said you've been doing podcasts for 6 years. Do you know how long? I didn't Google because I'm talking. I'm trying to be in the conversation. How long have podcasts been out? Because I hear people say, "Oh, it's too late. It's old. Don't waste your time."
No, it's really just getting started. So podcasting's been around for a long time, actually, like 20 plus years. You got to think all the way back to the original like iPods and things like that, right? So it's been out for a long, long time. However, it's just now starting to pick up popularity. Okay. And the pandemic amplified that like crazy, because all of a sudden everybody with a Zoom account or something like this, like a StreamYard or a Restream account, they've got a podcast, right? And so millions of new podcasts came out during the pandemic, and the industry went like this, and we're starting to see it come back down because, you know, there was a spike to a lot of stuff in the pandemic, right? But anyway, when you compare it to YouTube, okay, compare it to YouTube channels, it's like there's like hardly any podcasts. So you're only competing against like 4 million people. I remember how I told you.
Yeah, that's not a lot.
No, it's really not though. Okay, let me tell you, when I say 4 million, most of those podcasts, like 80% of them or some high number, they only do like 10 episodes and then they quit. So most of them are in the graveyard anyways. So you're really competing against a much smaller number. And like, I'll give you an example. Remember I told you I screwed everything up. I messed up really, really bad with the podcast. Well, I'm already in top 2.5%. And it didn't take long of me actually getting in there and doing the work that was required to actually polish it up and make it, you know, good, because it sucked. I had to get in there and actually make it good. But it didn't take long to get to the top 2.5%, and we're climbing. Like, so I'm going to be in the top 1% very soon. And
Tell us the name of your podcast again.
The Who You Know Show.
I knew it was Who You Know. I just wasn't sure which one. The Who You Know Show.
Not the, but just Who You Know. So,
Who You
and then
Know.
ya is YA. Who Ya Know Show.
Who You Know.
Who You
And
Know.
how did you come up with that title? I'm curious.
So a big part of our focus in the Who You Know Show, it really started out with career transition folks, helping them understand, you know, the best practices to get back to work, to get back to their cash flow, and to transition from one employer to the next. And so one of the things that we identified early on when helping job seekers was that it's not what you know, it's who you know. Okay. It's not the words on your resume. That's just going in the black hole anyways. Okay. It's all about networking. And so there was like all these stats that came out that said 85% of the jobs that get landed were through, you know, professional networking. And so we're like, well, shoot, well, let's create a show around that concept about who you know and networking and helping people elevate their skill set. Now it's morphed and transformed since then. It's not just careers, it's business, it's life, it's motivation, education, inspiration, you know, like it's all of that. And I'm also now starting to finally open up about my own personal stories and do you know, solo episodes, and really you know, start down that journey too, really get people insight to who I am and in my background and stuff like that. So
Love it. If you had to choose one person, I know you loved all your guests. They were all amazing. They were all wonderful. But if you had to choose one that was unforgettable, the most memorable interview that you had, just one, who would it be?
Okay, it's definitely Grant Cardone.
I knew it. I was going to say that. How many
I
times
tell people, and I tell people it was the best, worst interview I've had ever. Okay. It went sideways like super fast. Yeah, it went sideways. I'm still working on getting him back on because it went sideways, and I had to cut him off. And it's crazy. Yeah, no, the best, worst interview I've had. So check it out. I'll tell you the story real quick. Okay, so he was doing an interview blitz for Undercover Billionaire, and he was interviewing on a lot of different podcasts. Okay, I think he did like 19 that day. Okay, imagine just back to back, boom, 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 boom. Well, I get thrown in the mix. Okay, so I'm in the mix. And when he comes on, we're live. He didn't know we were live. Okay, so we're live. I had been telling and promoting it and telling my audience, which I have a big part of my audience is the church. And I'd been telling them this, that, and da, right? So he comes on, and we didn't get an opportunity to prep him before the show or anything like that about who the audience is or anything, because he's a professional. If I would have told him, like, he can't go on the news and just start, you know, being crazy. He's a professional. Like he'll Anyway, if I had an opportunity to prep him, it wouldn't have gone sideways, but I didn't. So we're live. He comes on, and he just got done doing Undercover Billionaire, and he's like, I'm king of the world. I'm King Kong. Like, I am the greatest thing. Like, and of course he's dropping some F-bombs and stuff like that. Well, I'm thinking the whole time, I'm like, oh my God. I was like embarrassed because my audience is big parts of the church. And there's a different side of Grant that's more of a people building side, right? We've seen the people building side of Grant, which is amazing. Like, he really genuinely wants to help people win. That's the side I was hoping for. It's not the side I got. I got the right. I'm the best thing, and then and I was nervous as all get out. And I learned something about myself. When I'm super, super, super nervous, I get cotton mouth, and I didn't know I had it, but I'm sitting there and I'm licking my lips. I got cotton mouth. And he said something. I asked him a question. Okay, so check this out. I asked him a question about Undercover Billionaire. I said, okay, so they drop you off in the middle of nowhere. You have $100. You're trying to build $1 million business in 90 days. And what did you do for food? Like, what would you do for food? And he said, well, I went from vegan to eating wieners again. And he goes, everybody's got to eat a little dick on the way up. Everybody's got to eat a little dick on the way up. And at that moment, I don't know. I probably in my head, I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I guess I licked my lips. Okay. And he goes, why'd you lick your lips when I said that? Why'd you lick your lips when I said that?
Now, was this a video or just the audio? Was it a video as well or just audio?
No, it's a video. I got it. It's great. I'm telling you, this is the best.
We're gonna find it. That's gonna be your intro this weekend, is that video, but go ahead.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. And so I had cut him off and I said, hey, listen, hold up, Grant. I just got to tell you. So, this is a faith-based ministry. We're here to lift people up, build people. And he goes, oh, you can cut that out. And then I guess somebody behind him, his assistant, is like, no, you're live. And he's like, oh, we're live right now. And I'm telling you, Grant was a true professional. He completely switched gears. He apologized. He was super. As a matter of fact, I got a text that night. He apologized to me and my audience, and he was just so like different person. And he even went into why he was acting that way. And he said, I'm trying to get 8 billion people on this planet to know who I am. And he's like, they're either going to love me or hate me, but they won't forget what I said. They won't forget I said it doesn't take money to make money. They won't forget this, that, and the other. And I was like, wow, okay. So he was coming in doing this, trying to get attention, right? Like he always talks about, where attention goes, money flows. So it was a great interview. I'm telling you, it was the best and the worst interview I've ever had in my life. It was awesome.
I need one of those sound.
I love that. That was like a whole mic drop right there.
No, mic drop, eraser drop, like crowds roaring, a little Eminem. Wow.
And then I had Elena come on, and she was fire. Oh my gosh. Elena is the best. Like, I want to tell him, like, dude, you let your wife beat you. She beats you, bro. Like, she's fire, bro. Like, Elena's awesome. So anyway,
I must admit, it was a different air. The air felt and smelled different when I was in Vegas. I don't know if it was the money, the people were just, it was cool. I felt like I was at a fashion show. I loved it. And I just went there to be comfy. It was awesome. So that's all about the podcast. Love it. Even though you're not going to be talking about that at the event. When I think he's Friday or Saturday, Angeline. Do we recall?
He kicks us off on Friday.
Friday?
I confirmed we got the email. So he's going to be kicking us off, y'all. Come through. You want to hear from Trevor Houston.
Kicking us off Friday at 9:15, and give us a little snippet about what you're doing. If anyone wants to reach you, someone's going to text me so I can put your information there. Angeline's going to send that to me now, because you're working with finances now, right?
Yes. So I'm the CEO of Clear Path Wealth Strategies, and that's really, when I talk about all this career transition stuff and everything that I do with that market and the people that I'm serving there, it's all about cash flow, right? Like, these people are going through a financial transition. And so we get to help them navigate some of those discussions and conversations as they're moving in and out of jobs. And so So that's something I'm extremely passionate about. But really what I'm going to be talking about on Friday is more about my story. I didn't come from money. I was very, very poor growing up, and I had a lot of looseness in my life and got in a lot of trouble. And I'm really lucky to be here. I had a transformation that happened, and I want to dive into some of those principles and what's really got me to where I am today, and some of the levels of success that I've had. Because everybody always asks me that. They're like, how did you do that? How did you go from, being in jail and, I was threatened to be in jail until I was 21. So at 16, so it was going to be 5 years in jail. Right. How did you go from that to where you're at today? Right. And so we're going to talk about that and, some principles on really how to transform your life.
I'm so excited. So my question for you, Trevor, I did a segment today where I used the acrostic or acronym, like Tina likes to call it, of transform. When you think of the word transform, what does it mean for you?
What a great question. When I think of transform, I think we're constantly evolving. Like, even to this day, I'm still transforming. We are hopefully people are on a daily basis trying to be better than they were yesterday, and I make mistakes all the time, like all the freaking time, but one of the things that I'm really good about is I try to take accountability for where I screw up. I think it's like one of my superpowers. And I think that that's one of the only ways to transform. Right? If you want to be better than where you are, you've got to take accountability, because listen, where you are is because of you, right? It's not because of external circumstances or whatever else. Like, you're responsible for your life. No one else is responsible for it but you. So take accountability. And even, we always want to take accountability for our successes when we're winning, right? We want to show it off, and we want to show off that highlight reel, and we want to talk about, oh yeah, look, I just got this trophy and all these amazing things. But no one likes to take accountability for when things are not going well, right? They want to point the finger at something else out there. But for me, that's like one of my superpowers. I have to like go, okay, no, what was my role in it? Where could I have improved? What could I have done differently? What could I have made better? How did I get here? And I think that's what's helped me really to transform, because I used to be a victim.
Quick question about that victim, Trevor, because I know a lot of people are thinking this, at least I'm thinking it. So you said you didn't come from money, and then now it's just like you're doing all these amazing, great things. Do you remember when the shift came? Was it a person? Was it a feeling? Did you know, or did it just happen? Because a lot of people are there. It's just like they see it, they feel it. But what was that shift, that one aha moment? And you were like, I'm doing this. Do you remember that day?
Oh, so it had nothing to do with me and everything to do with God. I'm going to just be honest about it, because I changed my environment. But when I say I didn't change my environment. I was forced to move to my father's house or faced with 5 years in jail. So it was, the judge was actually very lenient on me, and he said, hey, listen, you got a choice. You can either get out of here and go to your father's, or you're going to be in jail. So I chose that, to move with my father. And that's where the transformation really started, but I had to change that environment. And so that's one of the first things I tell people. If you don't like where you're at, look at your environment. It's just like a plant. Like, a plant needs good soil and good nourishment and light and water, and it needs a good environment. Otherwise, it's not going to grow. So who are you hanging around with? Who are the people? What's your environment look like? Do you need a change of environment? And so that for me was that moment was changing my environment, but it wasn't something I did. I didn't choose it, right? It happened to me or for me.
I love it. I love it. Well, it seems like we've learned a little bit more about you. Angela, you want to ask another question before we give our closing remarks and get out of here?
Do you have anything more you'd like to add, or why you're excited, or why you said yes to be part of the summit?
Because y'all are the best, right? I mean, listen, look at you. Look at the sparkles, right? Like, I'm like, where do I get my sparkle jacket? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's up? I mean, at least some sparkle shoes or something. I need a sparkle hat. You know, y'all need to hook me up.
I'm gonna make it happen.
Is it true that you guys are doing another event? I heard that on the street somewhere. Is that true?
Yeah, we're working on it. It's probably looking like October, September time frame, but yeah, we're definitely gonna do that again. It was so much fun, and just, you know what was cool about that event was it was big enough and small enough all at the same time.
Yep.
Right? The energy was through the roof because it was small enough but big enough, right? Yeah. And you can go to other conferences where, you know, you got 200, 300, 400 people, and you're not going to get anywhere near the relationships, the connections, all the stuff that we had. I mean, I saw people literally just the relationships like this, so cool what happened at that conference. So yeah, we're definitely going to do it again.
Yes. Was it your friend, the guy who was, no, it was the other guy's friend. Everyone, we kept screaming his name. What was his name? Help me out.
Brian.
I saw Gary in the room today. There was another girl who was always in there. How does it feel? Last question, I promise. I could do questions forever. How does it feel to know that you have transformed, you have changed so many lives, not just the people in that space, but think about it. Let's just say there were 200 people there. I can't remember. 200 people there. And then those 200 people exploded to other people. Like, you have us, and now we're doing this event. We're going to have 5,000 people at our virtual event. Okay, it's not that many. But how does it feel to know that you made such an impact in the world? People that are going to change their lives with their mindset, their eating, their everything, finances. How does that feel?
It's pretty awesome feeling. I mean, I know when I do an event like that, you can literally feel the energy. Like, you come out drained. Like, I come out like completely like dead, but it's because you give everything you got. All your energy's going out, and you know that you put that out there in the universe, right? It's coming back. It's gonna come back, right? Even if it doesn't come back that day, right? It's coming back, like through this kind of stuff we're doing right now. It comes back. You put all that energy on the line and put it out there. It's just awesome. It's really is an awesome feeling. And that guy, Brian, so what you don't know about Brian, is I went to Chaz Wilson's conference called Connect.
Chaz.
And let me just tell you, Brian's the real deal. Brian was one of their keynote speakers, and he freaking crushed it. He was probably one of the best speakers there at the whole conference, right? And I was blown away. I'm like, Brian, didn't know this about you. Come on, man. What's going on? You know? So
maybe you'll have him at your next event. Who knows?
Yeah. He was there for a reason. He was there with purpose.
Yes.
Very cool.
And I love the fact it was all different types of people, ages, races, ages. It was just, a mixture of everything, and it just felt so good. It was definitely a game changer. And I've been to a lot of events. I really enjoyed it. I could talk to you forever. I'm loving everyone that's watching on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. If you're watching, make sure you sign up. We have a VIP package for those that aren't going to miss something, because the event is Friday as well as Saturday. It's virtual. We're going to have an ebook. Some of the speakers are giving gifts. I know Glenn Rudin's giving these cute little chargers. Some others giving ebooks or things like that. But I'm excited about your talk, and we're going to have some nice M&M playing. We're going to have some party. 9:15. Okay, I'm going to say 8:30. I'm not saying 9:15. 8:30 on Friday. Drop mic. Whoop, whoop. All right, we're out of here. Peace and a bottle of hair grease. Thank you all for coming through.